All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Shout out to All Asian Dilemmas once more. I love this channel and a few others. It's review time. Every now and then I like to mix it up, do my own content actually, and then do reviews. Now, most guys, you have guys out there that claim that they can get women for free. But have you noticed the women that they claim that they're getting for free, if they're even really getting women to begin with, these are women that you're not going to see them with out in the public in the open. These are going to be women that nobody knows about because they're probably too big, or they're just not that cute in the face, or something about them to where you keep it in the closet. But anyway, these are the type of girls that you want to date. Usually these are like the, average looking. I mean, she looks okay. I could tell this is not a filter. She's dateable in my book from a looks perspective. I don't know anything about her, but let's see what she has to say.
You need to remember one thing. Those men who say they like you but don't want to make an effort, their underlying logic is to take advantage without spending anything. They want to get everything for free, and the best thing is to easily sleep with you. In this situation, unless you're willing to sacrifice yourself, suffer and submit, things won't work out. For example, there's a guy who has a good salary. He tells you on WeChat that he's chasing you and keeps saying that, chatting with you occasionally for 2 or 3 years.
First of all, who chases after somebody that long? That's just desperation. That's somebody without no options. You chasing the same chick for more than, I'll say, a month. Because see, most guys that have options, they're not going to chase the same person for 2 or 3 years. Not unless they're so in love with them. But that's usually not the case. Usually they only want one thing. I mean, shit, let's be honest. All of us only want one thing at the beginning. But until we get to know you, if you're actually worth something, we might even put in a little more. But let's go.
But in practice, he hasn't put in any effort. Generally, a woman will be moved by this after 2 or 3 years and naturally get involved with this man. Over time, you will relax and emotionally soften. When holidays come, you think about suggesting something like transferring money or a gift, but he will say that it's too normal, that he will give you something bigger in the future, like a car or a house. And this man still continues to flirt with other women, but you don't notice.
See, in America, we call this type of guy a pookie. Guys that say that they get all these women for free, have you noticed that these are women that they probably either don't want, and number two, they can't keep them. You can attract women without money, but you're going to have some kind of resources or social level to keep these women, which a lot of guys fail to do. Some guys have the riz, but the guys with the riz usually don't have the money.
He only looks for those who expect nothing from him, who are willing to sacrifice, submit, and even pay the costs. If he finds someone else, he will drop you without thinking twice because he sees you as a problem. This kind of man will always want to take advantage and be stingy. This is his constant mindset. Don't create the illusion that because he chased you for 2 or 3 years, he was being thoughtful. In reality, those 2 or 3 years weren't for you. They were just time he passed because he was bored and had nothing to do. So, if you really want to understand a man, be direct and ask about money. Don't wait for 2 or 3 years to pass, and for your emotional vulnerability to make you realize that you've been deceived.
And just keep it real. If the shoe's on the other foot, just realize if a woman is chasing after a guy, a lot of times that guy has something that she wants. But a lot of times, most guys don't have anything that a woman wants. Other than some kind of gift or something. But yeah.
怎么验证一个男人是不是
How to verify if a man truly loves you? Ask him for money. This isn't something I'm saying, it's something my male friends have shared with me.
What?
I have a friend named Amin, a typical player, lots of girlfriends, who has had more than 10 girlfriends.
Damn, Amin.
We all thought he'd be a womanizer for life, but to our surprise, he recently told us he's getting married on May Day, May 1st. When we asked him how he could change his mind, he said he found someone he truly loves.
What?
Then a friend asked, how do you know she is really the one you love? Amin replied, I want to spend money on her. He explained that when he was with his ex, he did a lot to please her, saying sweet things and making promises, but when it came to spending money, he felt uncomfortable. For example, when they went shopping and she liked a skirt, his first reaction was to pull her away, saying, baby, that skirt doesn't suit you. I'll buy you a more expensive one later. When she wanted a milk tea which cost just a few dollars, he was reluctant, saying the tea wasn't healthy and was bad for her health. In the end, he bought her just a bottle of water. It didn't take long and they broke up. Then, Amin got together with his current girlfriend, with whom he had been trying to be with for a long time. He accompanied her to shopping, bought clothes for her with pleasure, and whenever she looked at a store window, he would pull her in to choose the clothes, buying everything without hesitation.
And that's a hell no. That's how you get finessed. See, you guys, there's guys all over the internet talking about they get women for free. Well, when I hear that, when somebody tells me that, first of all, there's two questions I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you how big is she, and I'm going to ask you how many kids does she have. Because the women that you're getting for free are probably bottom feeders, leeches. These are headaches that nobody else wanted to deal with. That's why it was easy for you to get them for free. And then in the long run, these free women are going to cost you a lot. Free women are headaches. These free women are the ones that'll lock you down and put you on child support. So you have guys that are about to be on child support talking about they get women for free. Yeah. You thought you was getting it for free, but their plan was to give it to you for free until you purposely knock them up. And then they're not going to get an abortion. The plan is to suck you dry. Feed you with free pussy just to lock you in and milk you for everything. So that's what I hear when these guys are saying they get women for free. Temporary. Women that guys are getting for free is just hookups. It's nothing long term. So technically she's not yours. It's just your turn for pleasure. For fun. Hookup.
While the saleswoman tried to push him to buy even more.
What?
He smiled and said, I really can't control myself. I just want to spend money on her, make her look beautiful. And as for the milk tea, I don't even need to say, whenever I see someone holding one, I immediately go to buy one for her and even get dessert. After finishing his drink, he said something that left a deep impression on us. What men say about love doesn't count. What counts is if they are willing to spend money for love. So, if you want to know if a man truly loves you, see if he's willing to spend money on you.
And another thing, to you guys that get women for free, just understand. Oh my God. It's like in the long run, you're going to realize it ain't free. Eventually, your free spree is limited. So a lot of guys think in their head, okay, I got all this mouthpiece and this game, but not realizing that they're getting women that they don't even want. They're just dealing with these women because they're right there, and they dispose of these women because the women that they're getting for free are the women that they don't really desire like that. So they're going to keep disposing these women until they find the one, the love of their life, like this guy. He wouldn't buy the other girl anything, but now he's splurging on this other girl because he's really into her. So I guess that free shit is over.
A man willing to spend money on you doesn't necessarily love you, but a man who isn't even willing to spend money on you certainly doesn't love you that much. When you can't tell, just ask him for money, confidently and without feeling embarrassed. Doesn't he say he loves you? Then show him that true love is also about concrete actions. And don't worry if he thinks you're materialistic. If he says that, it's because he's trying to manipulate you emotionally. That just shows he's a pragmatic person. Don't listen to what people say about money ruining relationships. In reality, not talking about money is what really ruins relationships. You may come across some men who try to get everything for free. If you don't ask, they'll pretend they don't know. Most women don't need the money, but if you do this test, you'll be able to find out if he's genuinely interested. Why not try? If you don't know how to ask, don't worry, there are tricks for that.
Why doesn't he want to spend money on you? Many girls have this problem, where their boyfriend doesn't want to spend money on them. Now, I understand one thing. If he doesn't want to spend money on you, it means he doesn't love you. Now, let's get this straight. I'm not saying this is a rule for everyone, but the fact that he doesn't want to spend money on you is a normal idea for a human being, okay? Because normal people want to spend money on themselves, even your parents. When you were a child, didn't your parents love you? Of course, they loved you. But when you asked for pocket money or some extra cash for something, it was hard, right? Your dad worked so hard to earn that money, right? The second thing is about the motivation humans have to spend money. You need to understand that spending money is about buying happiness. The main reason people spend money is to satisfy a consumption experience. First, spending money isn't about punishing yourself, it's always about buying happiness.
Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Retail therapy. It's true. Spending money makes people feel good depending on what they do with it. Whether it's gambling, alcohol, the strip club, whatever. So, these women, it's a test. When they try to get you to buy stuff for them, whether it's McDonald's, Burger King, or a drink, boba, it's the test to see if you're going to tell her yes or no. The other guy was making excuses. Some guys will just say flat out, no, I'm not buying that, you buy it. That's a true alpha male. But see, you notice overseas, they don't do this alpha male and beta male thing. But they do say terms like bootlickers in exchange for that, which is the same thing. If you're a bootlicker, a simp, yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, a lot of guys are getting finessed across the world. But see, you got to understand, in these other cultures, they're doing this to see if you could support a family. If you're going to be stingy and cheap about everything, they're probably not going to want to deal with you over time.
Third, he will only continue spending money on you if he feels that the happiness he gets from spending that money on you is greater than the happiness he would get by spending the same amount on himself. Remember, every human being, deep down, spends money to buy happiness, not to punish themselves. That means the emotional value you provide, the ability to bring joy, is what makes him want to spend money on you. Do you get it? The fourth point is about having real skills. If you don't have real skills, why would anyone go against human nature and spend money on you? We work so hard, exhaust ourselves at work, spend long hours at the office, do overtime, earn so little, and all of that is to try to have a better life. Now, why would anyone spend money on you, risking their own well-being? That goes against human nature. Why would anyone do that for you? Only if you have real skills.
Oh, cooking.
花钱就能证明爱。
Can spending money prove love?
No.
You've probably heard this phrase. If a man spends money on me, it means he really loves me. It's not hard to see that in a consumer-driven society.
Well, see, I don't think money's the issue. You shouldn't have to spend money to prove somebody, like a person shouldn't have to prove they love by spending money. If you're going to prove your love to somebody, it's what you do, not what you buy them. Let's say the girl's car broke down and they were like an hour away. You went out your way to go meet her and help her to get her tire fixed and get back on the road. That shows that you really care about the person. That's a good example versus just spending money while you guys are out together. That doesn't show anything. That's just convenience. But if a person goes out your way when you're down on your luck, then that might be a chance for love right there.
Money is given too much importance. And indeed, our lives depend on money. So what does spending money really mean? Spending money means giving. It's also an attitude. If a man can make a woman feel love, there are many women who don't want his money. They just want him. But what's the problem? The problem is that you didn't provide him emotional security, nor give him guarantees in life. Yet you call him materialistic. A man's willingness to spend money on a woman doesn't necessarily mean he truly loves her. But if he's unwilling to spend money on her, he might truly not love her. In fact, for men, whether they can make money is more important than whether they have money. Money is not the only standard to measure love, but it can help filter out a lot of false emotions and intentions.
What?
If your thinking is still stuck on the idea that a man not spending money on you is because he doesn't have money, then you are completely wrong. Whether a man is willing to spend money on you depends on you. Remember that. Men choose who they spend on, especially when it comes to women.
And this seems to be an issue for black guys in America. This is why the black culture is messed up, because these guys that think that they're getting women for free, have you noticed that the guys that claim they're getting all these women for free don't have much going for themselves to begin with? So most guys that think that they're getting women for free are broke. That's a broke man ideology. If you think that you're getting women for free, for nothing, then something bad is going to happen to you. Especially if you get serious with somebody and get them pregnant. Yeah, you're going to realize that women are not free and you're always going to pay. But if you feel like you keep getting women for nothing, over time what happens is you're going to be this 50-year-old guy and nobody wants to deal with you because you're still thinking you get women for free. I'm like, you breaking bread at some point. Okay, so you get a place with a woman and you're not spending any money. That's what I'm saying. See, the getting women for free part means hooking up. The women that you're getting for free are the women that you're not going to take seriously. So how are you going to move in with somebody? What, you expect her to pay all the bills? What the fuck? Like, it's bum shit. If you think you're getting women for free, most likely you're a bum. But then these bums are trolling on the internet, telling all these content creators about what women that they got for free. But nobody even seen these women because they're probably undesirable, fat, 5 kids, whatever.
Maybe many people don't believe this. But think about it. For example, if a man meets a woman who has never seen the world, will he take her shopping? Will he take her to eat exotic foods? No, he won't. If he meets this woman, it's because of her past good deeds. He won't even invite her to eat. He'll just leave her hungry. Understand? After everything, at most, he'll take her to a market and buy her a simple meal just to send her off. Now, if this man meets a more open and generous woman, he will treat her like a buddy, saying, "I'll pay for this meal. Next time, you pay." Respectful relationships. No one owes anyone anything. They are all like friends. Friendship is deep, and after the drinks wear off, everyone goes their separate ways and
After the round of sake, go home. If you're dating, you're friends, okay? Until the actual relationship is established, okay? So, I mean, there's times I went out on dates with women where I went out with the same woman a few times. I paid for dinner or lunch this time, and the next time she grabbed the tab because she was like, "Oh, you paid for it last time." I actually like those type of women. But of course, it didn't blossom into what I thought it would be, but that's all right because women come and go. It's okay.
gets everything. If the man meets a professional-looking woman, dressed in a suit with good posture, he won't even think about inviting her to eat. He will probably be the one to invite her. The man will feel like he is showing great respect, right? I believe you've seen this situation. Now, if the man meets a woman with some kind of family connection, or trying to get close through relatives, he will honestly feel like he is wasting his time.
What?
So the truth is, whether a man is willing to spend money on a woman depends on how much he thinks she is worth. Here you realize that if a man meets a young woman without much personality, apparently innocent, and very obedient, he tends to be more interested in her. But he will have a limit. At most, he will invite her to dinner, buy some clothes, give her a small gift for Christmas or other special occasions. Something symbolic, like a small amount, to make her happy. His yearly spending on her won't exceed 10,000. If it exceeds that, he won't spend a penny more. This is a man's strategy. Now, if the man meets a woman with sensual curves, a woman full of femininity, with an intense gaze, he will be completely captivated. At this moment, the man will start spending money on her without even realizing it. Why? Because he can no longer control his thoughts. Everything is guided by hormones. This is how men behave. Therefore, to understand a man, you need to understand where his motivation comes from. A man's motivation comes from his eyes. What he sees is what he starts to value, and what he values is what he invests in. Don't think that a man doesn't spend money on you because he is poor. It's because you are not worth enough. It's because your value, your seductive power isn't great enough. Understand?
Yeah. Do you comprende? I understand that. So it's not that most guys are cheap. It's just that some guys are able to point out a low value woman. Why would you spend money and time on this low value woman when you know you can get it for free and have some fun with it momentarily, but you know not to spend too much. You put a cap on your limit because you know this woman, maybe she's highly promiscuous, maybe you know a lot of guys that she was been with, and maybe you know some of the tricks she's done to other guys. I don't know.
I don't know if you've ever heard this kind of toxic advice. If a man is willing to spend money on you, it doesn't necessarily mean he loves you. But a man who is unwilling to spend money on you definitely doesn't love you. At first glance, this seems to make sense.
It don't make sense to me because what the hell does love have to do with money? That's something you feel genuine. Love is genuine.
But if you think about it, not spending money and not loving you are not the same thing. Saying that a man doesn't love you just because he doesn't spend money on you is unfair to him. Let me give you an example. He didn't buy you 99 roses. But when you face setbacks, when you're sick, when you're sad, there's always someone there to comfort you, to take care of you, silently supporting you by your side, encouraging you. Many times, he's the one who shows up when you need him the most.
And that was the example I was using earlier. I'm like, okay, you're down bad, you're in bed sick, you can't move, you got a fever, and he comes over and brings you Gatorade and soup and stuff like that. I mean, that's generosity, right? I mean, how more humane can you be doing that? And most people won't even do that, vice versa. Most people will not do that. So you won't know if somebody cares about you until you're down bad and whoever reaches out to you.
Even though you feel deeply moved, you still say, he didn't spend money on me, so he definitely doesn't love me. Is that fair? In fact, maybe the way he shows love just isn't the way you expect. For you, spending money might be the way you think he loves you. But you need to allow him to express his love in his own way. It's all love. A rich second-generation man spends money taking you to a star-rated hotel to have a fancy dinner. He's spending money on you. But tomorrow he might be having dinner with another girl.
And see about that, these top-tier guys, you got to understand that a lot of them are spending the corporation's money. That's that business credit card. So a lot of times they're not spending their own money when they take these girls out to fancy dinners and everything. I'm not saying all people are like that, but depending, executive people in the corporate world, a lot of those people steal money from the organizations that they work for, but they have a way to launder it back. I'm not saying that all of them do that, but that's what a lot of it goes on. So a lot of people are fake rich because they're splurging the company's money going out with these girls. That's what a lot of times is going on.
Some people, even though they spend money on you, you might think they are loving you, but soon you'll realize that, in fact, he doesn't understand what love and respect are. Spending money on you is his only way to connect with you. Let me give another example. A man with 10,000 yuan in his pocket lends you money to buy a 20,000 yuan gift, and another man spends a few hundred yuan on a gift, but uses the rest of the money to plan your future together. Which one would you choose? Why associate love with spending money? Why turn love into something material? If love has to be based on spending money, what will you offer in return?
Ooh.
Do you really love this man? Would you be willing to squander the money he earned with so much effort? When a man spends money on you, it's within his financial ability. He might not be able to buy a luxury car or a mansion right now, but within his capacity, he's already giving you the best he can. What he does for you shouldn't be taken for granted. Whether he loves you or not, only he can say, and his actions will show it. Spending money is just one of the ways of showing love. But it doesn't mean that if he doesn't spend money, he doesn't love you.
I mean, to be honest with you, when somebody's just breaking bread like that on a girl, a lot of times the guy is just trying to show that he's responsible and he can hold it down. But then a lot of women take advantage of that and get comfortable, thinking that, oh, I got me a sucker. He'll get me anything. But then in reality, the guy, and this is with older guys, I see it a lot. Older guys simping out on the young, cute girls. I mean, it's science. Men want younger women. Most older guys, middle-aged guys, I'll say between the ages of 40 and 50, they usually want women that are under 30. And they could pretty much lure these women in when they break bread.
What is the mindset of a man who doesn't want to spend money on you? I was convinced by his psychology, and this video might change your perception. Remember to save it, because it might be hard to find later. During my live streams, I repeatedly get asked the same questions. Why don't men want to spend money on me? Does that mean I'm not worth anything to them? Did he really never love me? Today, I'm going to give a unified explanation on this topic. The reason is pretty painful. Men don't think it's worth it to spend money on you. Listen carefully. Not worth it, isn't that harsh? But after hearing what I have to say next, you'll understand it much better.
Okay,
the reason he won't spend money on you is because he can easily win you over.
Oh.
He doesn't need to spend money. After all, who would pay for a free lunch? Some people say, I don't like owing anything to anyone. So from the very beginning, when I met him, I insisted on paying the bill. I want to say that this mindset is fine when it comes to friendships, but when it comes to dating and choosing a husband, it will make the other person think that being with you doesn't require any investment. Men generally prioritize their careers, and the ultimate sign of success in their careers is money. That's what they care about most. So, to test if a man truly loves you, you just have to observe if he's willing to spend money on you. The money a man spends on a woman is an investment. No one wants to lose an investment. The more he spends, the less likely he is to let you go.
And another thing is, a lot of these guys, they try to get these women from talking to other guys. That's another strategy they use too. They think that they could use their money to get the girls to just only talk to them. So basically, whoever spends the most money on the girl is more serious with her. So it might work out momentarily because you impressed her the most because of all the bread you was dropping on her, or the credit card swipes, Apple Pay. But see, the problem is, as you guys get more serious and you stop spending as much money, she's going to be like, what happened? You used to always do this, 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 and that. So that might be a problem too later down the road. So don't splurge too much at the beginning.
This is human nature. If there's no emotional investment, the relationship becomes dispensable. And when it ends, there won't be any regret. Some people try to deceive themselves and ask, what if he's really poor, with no money? I beg you, don't deceive yourself anymore. Even without money, if he truly cares, he could at least invite you to a simple meal or give you a rose. Isn't that an expression of his feelings? Human nature always values what's on the rise, never what's falling. Don't devalue yourself. If you are a rare, limited edition woman, hard to get, quality men will compete to pay for you. Do you agree?
Well, it depends. Sometimes these women are escorts. If they're escorts, you have to pay for them. Moral of the story, whoever plans the date usually should be the one that pays for it. Even 50 Cent said that. So, I mean, I can't agree no more. So if you're making dates and planning dates with these women, don't get mad when they expect you to pay for it. You were the one that wanted to take them out. So you're going to be the one that pays for it. If you don't like it, don't invite them out. This is Kylie Vale. I'll catch you on the next video.